Hello everyone. In this lecture of class 8, chapter metals and non-metals, we are going to study today about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So first property which we are going to take, that is reaction of oxygen with metals. So when oxygen reacts with metals, it produces oxides. Means you can say here the metal oxides. So let's take one by one. Some metals react with oxygen at room temperature and catch fire. These are, for example, sodium and potassium. We can already say that because we know that these are the most reactive metals. So when most reactive metals react with oxygen, they react at room temperature, means without providing any heat or any help, they react and catch fire very easily. Let's take an example like sodium Na plus O2 gives Na2O. For balancing, we have written these numbers which you already know. So sodium, when reacts with oxygen, it forms sodium oxide. Now, to prevent these reactions, this is very important point. To prevent these reactions, these metals are kept in kerosene. Why in kerosene? Because kerosene is a oil, and oil prevents the you can say the entering any part of air or water inside it. So the metal remains, this metal remains same inside the you can say safe inside the kerosene. And whenever we use to means if we want to use Na, so means that is sodium, we take a small part from it and again we put in the kerosene. Now second point is, some metals react with oxygen only on heating at high temperature. These metals are magnesium, iron and copper, etc. Means other metals react with oxygen only when we heat them. Like for example, magnesium and oxygen. When magnesium part, you can say the strip or magnesium object gets heated in the presence of oxygen, this sign is called delta. Okay, this triangle size is called here delta. Okay, this is the triangle in maths, but in chemistry it is called delta, and it represents heat. Okay, it represents heat. Now, so magnesium reacts with oxygen on heating, produces magnesium oxide. Okay, let's take one more example like copper. When is heated in the presence of oxygen, it forms copper oxide. Now, the nature of metal oxides which we have obtained by the reaction of metal with oxygen, that if we dissolve these oxides in water and we test with litmus paper, then what happens, that red litmus paper turns blue. As we already know that we have two types of litmus papers, blue and red. So when we use red litmus paper here, it turns to blue. If we use blue litmus paper here, there will be no effect on that. Okay, so we know that when red litmus turns into blue, that denotes that that substance, means that metal oxide is basic in nature. Means red litmus paper is turning into blue, that shows that this substance is basic in nature. Now the other reaction is reaction of oxygen with non-metals. So when non-metals react with oxygen, what will happen? Again, the oxides are formed, means non-metal oxides are formed. Example, if we burn sulfur powder in the presence of oxygen, this shows heat, right? So then we get sulfur dioxide, and if this sulfur dioxide get mixed with water, then it forms sulfurous acid. This is called H2SO3, SO2 plus H2O. You can see here that H2 from here, S from here, and O2 and O becomes O3. So combined together, it is a, you can say, combination reaction. It forms sulfurous acid. So by this you can understand that if any means non-metal, means like we know that in fuels, non-metals are present, sulfur, potassium, sulfur, phosphorus, carbon. So when they burn in the presence of oxygen, they form some compound, and when that compound mixes with water particles in the air, it produces acid, and that causes acidic rain, which you have studied in the junior classes, right? Acidic rain is caused in this way only. Let's take one more example of non-metal reacting with oxygen, that is phosphorus. When phosphorus reacts with oxygen, then on heating, again it produces phosphorus pentoxide. Okay, P2O5. Okay, balancing you can do, P plus O2 gives P2O5, balancing already I have given here, or if you want to practice, you can practice by yourself. Now again, the nature of the non-metal oxide, that is, on dissolving these oxides in water and testing with litmus paper, we observe blue litmus paper turns red. Okay, in metallic oxides, red litmus paper was turning into blue, and here blue litmus paper turns into red, which indicates that non-metal oxides are in acidic nature. They are acidic oxides in nature, right? Now the next reaction is the reaction of water with metals. Okay, this is very important. So listen very carefully, and please keep on making your notes by yourself also. So reaction with water or with metals. So there are, means, as we have already know that metals are in different reactivity, right? So let's take part by part. Some metals react with normal water vigorously. Vigorously means immediately, with very quickly, and large amount of heat is evolved. Very large amount of, you can write, very large amount of heat is evolved. For example, sodium, potassium and calcium. Already they also have different reactivities, but they are very reactive, right? Where out of them, potassium and sodium are very reactive. So here I have taken the example of sodium. When sodium reacts with water, it forms sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas is released and heat is evolved. This heat is in very large amount. So please, if you get chance also, do not do this experiment by yourself, without do it in the supervision of your any elder, because this heat produced sometimes causes you can say fire also, and the container may get burst also. Now let's talk about some other metals. Some metals react with hot water or steam. You see here that I am saying hot water, means they do not react with normal water, or also they need steam to react. Okay, means even they will not react with hot water. Some metals like magnesium, aluminium, iron, etc. So here I have taken two reactions of magnesium. First, when magnesium reacts with water, means that is hot water, it produces magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas is released. But if magnesium is reacted with steam, so you see the both have the same formula, H2O, H2O, because hot water or steam, both are produced by normal water only, right? So when it reacts with steam, it forms magnesium oxide plus hydrogen gas is released. So you can understand easily by these reactions, like when the any metal reacts with water, means normal water, or hot water, they will produce hydroxides, and when it will react with steam, that it will produce oxide. This is magnesium oxide. Clear? Let's take one more example. This is about aluminium. Aluminium reacts with, again it will reacts with the steam here, and it forms aluminium oxide, Al2O3 plus 3H2. You can see here again that when aluminium is reacting with steam, it is not reacting with hot water, with steam, and it is producing oxide, like magnesium is producing with steam oxide, and with hot water hydroxide. So this is the difference. You can easily make that hot water or steam will produce hydroxide or oxygen. Now the reaction of aluminium with steam is very important, because when the aluminium reacts with steam and forms aluminium oxide, then the layer of this aluminium oxide produced gets deposited on the aluminium object and prevents further reaction. Okay, means once the aluminium oxide layer is formed, then the remaining aluminium which is inside that coating will not react with steam. So the reaction first goes smoothly and then stopped. Okay. The other example is zinc reacting with steam. It forms zinc oxide. Again you see steam, so oxide is formed and hydrogen gas is released. Next is very important reaction, that is iron reacts with steam. But keep in mind that iron also does not react normally with steam also. Only red hot iron, means first iron is heated at very high temperature. When it becomes red hot, then only it is treated with steam, and it will form Fe3O4, that is called iron oxide. This is the mixture of ferrous oxide and ferric oxide. Okay, that I will explain in the another video. And hydrogen gas is released. So in all these reactions you must have seen that common product is hydrogen gas. When hot water is used or normal water is used, then we are getting hydroxides, and when steam is used, then we are getting oxides. Now very important point here, that aluminium, iron and zinc only react with steam. We have already seen that they were reacting with steam only, right? Whereas magnesium reacts with steam and hot water both, right? Now we are getting on our last point of the today's lecture, that is some metals do not react with either water or steam. Either water means normal water or hot water, any kind of water, or steam. These metals are copper, gold, platinum and in some cases silver also, because these metals are least reactive. You can learn them that these are least reactive. So that is why they do not react with the normal substances. Okay, that so water and steam having no effect on copper, gold, platinum, and by this we can say that different metals have different reactivities. That means some are very reactive, some are you can say normal reactive, or you can say the intermediate reactive, and some are least reactive, right? Now we are moving to the last point of the topic, that is reaction of water with non-metals. Okay, so simply you just learn that non-metals do not react with water. Means in any case they will not react with normal water, no with the hot water or with the steam. They will not react. So what they will do, you can say that very reactive non-metals such as phosphorus, as we have studied that phosphorus pentoxide was forming by when the phosphorus is reacting with oxygen. So phosphorus is very reacting, especially we take example of white phosphorus. You know that where we use phosphorus in our daily life? Phosphorus is used in our daily life as on the matchsticks, but that is red phosphorus. But here we are talking about the white phosphorus, which we get in from the nature generally. So when the white phosphorus is taken, it catches fire when it is exposed to air. So that is why, to prevent this reaction, means that white phosphorus should not react with air and forms, you can say that not catch fire in the room temperature. So we store this phosphorus in water, because we have studied that non-metals do not react with water. Okay, so that's it about all the reactions of the metals and non-metals for this lecture. Rest we will study in the next class. Thank you.